there's a great concern that Boston is losing its uniqueness and that neighborhoods are being homogenized, that we're losing the places residents consider important to their self-definition. And I thank you, councilors, in particular, Bach and Braden, for sponsoring, and Chair Edwards for taking action on this item. We're very much in support. We've long flagged as problematic the way that we protect our historic resources that play such a critical role, not only in the economy of the city, but in the social health of Boston residents. Every Boston resident should be able to see themselves in our city's past as it's reflected in our physical landscape. Everyone has the right to be empowered by knowing that people like them have played a significant role throughout Boston's history. This shouldn't just be a privilege of a select few. It's an equity and an honesty issue about our history that needs correction, as others have mentioned. This change is an important step. And as you've already heard from others, the legislation that allows the designation of Boston landmarks really makes no sense. Places that are significant to Boston should be able to become Boston landmarks. That would be logical. I'm in regular dialogue with peers across the nation working in historic preservation. And when I've mentioned in the past this odd Boston restriction on landmarking protection, I'm also often asked if I'm kidding. Like, really? Are you serious? Because this isn't how most cities operate. Just this morning, I emailed colleagues across the country to get confirmation that local significance is sufficient for them. So far, I've confirmed this case in a number of cities, and I'll list them: Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, Milwaukee, San Antonio, Fort Worth, Dallas, Houston, Providence, Baltimore, Denver, Chicago, Cleveland, New Orleans, Philadelphia, and New York City. And the list will grow as I get more responses. This is not a radical idea. It's common. Around Massachusetts, for historic districts or single building protection, most communities use the state legislation. They don't have home rule petitions like Boston does. And in that case, there is no requirement for state or national significance. Our current system is simply not equitable, as places associated with Black, Latinx, Asian, LGBTQ histories sadly don't have as well-documented national frameworks. And much of that history was kind of by the nature of their historical plight, intentionally kept below a prominent national story. And as an important reminder, just because something is landmarked, it doesn't mean places are frozen in time, never to be changed. The preservation community supports the evolution of the city. We just ask that it be well considered, and that changes to properties considered by Bostonians to be particularly important receive extra scrutiny and review. Now, I know I shouldn't spend any more time. I just wanted to give a couple of specific examples where this change would have been beneficial. The Westgate building at 541 Commonwealth Avenue in Kenmore Square was considered sort of a gateway historic building into the city. We lost that last year, but maybe it could have been saved, but its significance was only local. The Iblana Brewery on Heath Street, which you can see behind me in Mission Hill, its derelict and an opportunity for redevelopment and preservation is being missed, and it would definitely benefit from landmark protection. Residents are desperate to save their history, and I urge you to make that change to put Boston's process on par with the rest of the nation. Thank you.